Hello everybody, my name is Vladimir and I am again with you like 2 hours ago. So just now I will not play against you, I will kind of teach you only. So for today's topic, for prepare like a pro, I decided to use Italian. It's basically Italian. You can get exactly the same pawn structure and exactly the same position from Berlin defense. My games are usually from Italian, but just to know that if you go from Berlin, I will just come back to show how that's happened. It's in the end happened exactly the same. Yeah, anti-Berlin, and kind of we often getting exactly the same pawn structure. And later we play the same. This is just transposition from one opening to another one, but pawn structure is the same. Later, of course, this bishop also is moving in this way. Once kind of black usually play e6, we usually don't take, and will be transposition. Just to have one idea, it's exactly the same like from Berlin, anti-Berlin, you can get this exact the same position we're going to work lately. So Italian here. Yeah, the most common move orders are different, but kind of we're getting some very common position. Players often play this because otherwise you can sometimes you can blunder the famous trick. Yes, and pieces are forked, or sometimes I saw also games like that. I know now the pawn is handing, but sometimes. And kind of bishop is trapped again or losing the fork again. So that's why this is a good prophylactic move. Avoiding d4 with temp in the future. So white follow their idea, limited black pieces. And this is the position. Later we'll discuss also d5. It's also common move. There are many moves. But basically the most common idea, most playable here is to improve this knight, guys. That's the most common. Why? Who can tell why we most often improve this knight? Maybe somebody from the club or somebody from online. Yes, hello from the St. Louis, guys. Why this is the most common idea, most often top players play? Yes, to eventually push c5, that's the Wesley setup, to push c5, b5, c4 later. Okay, yes, this with idea c5, b5 later, and c4. That's the Wesley setup. He play exclusively like that most of the games. Okay, at least before. Nowadays, I don't know. And what else? Yes, we maneuver with the knight because, guys, this is kind of the worst piece. And white whole strategy in the Italian is basically to play against this knight. Okay, knight is well limited. That's why sooner or later black has to improve there. So that's why that's the most common idea. White prepared to get space advantage. White also maneuver in the same way. So far everything normal. White decided to lock the bishop. In many games, if we are not so on bishops, of course, maybe you know we can play bishop e3 to trade the bishops. Yeah, it depends you like to be solid or no, but I will kind of give you different ideas. So d4, c6. Guys, what you going to play here for white and why? Some very typical move and very important to remember. Yes, it's feel more like Rui than Italian. I completely agree with you guys. But I told you it's exactly the same. You can start from Berlin. You can get exactly the same position. So it's more pawn structure. And just to know, prepare like a pro. Grandmasters generally study pawn structure, not really move by move, because often we transform, yeah, from one opening to another one. It's white to move. Black just played c6. What you gonna play for white and why? That's my question. Eventually, guys. Maybe somebody from here? Guys, one mysterious move I give you a few more seconds with a very deep idea, and this move basically indicate white plan in the future. Guys, it's white to move. What you play for white and why? It's very connected with previous move and with the future moves. No ideas? Okay. Bishop c2, guys, remember that move. Why? Because that's the whole idea, is about that move. Okay. Thank you, Magic Max. The idea is, guys, to overprotect the pawn. Because we played d4, white played d4 because they like to develop the bishop on e3 to avoid trade of bishop. Yeah, I'm just showing you what the idea. Something like that. Build a battery and eventually to get some benefit, sack. Knights coming also supporting some tactical shots. That's why white needed d4 to avoid the trade of the bishop. But why it's not so good to play immediately bishop e3, guys? Because now if black going to take, now pawn is handing and white can try to take with pawn. That is usually the problem. We like to take with pawn to keep the bishop blocked. White should take with a piece to cover the pawn, and we usually, guys, don't want this. Okay, we like to have the pawn center, both pawns to be together to limited black pieces. They could take with knight because with some tactical shot maybe in the end check and check. Yeah, I mean rook is handing on e4, kind of better. It's first to take the knight and next to f7, but usually, guys, blacks like this pawn structure, the d6 pawn versus c4, like that black are getting the pawn contra play. Just to know, this is a very good pawn structure in black. Doesn't matter where is this pawn could be out, like in Spanish. We usually trade the c pawn. Again, this is the right pawn structure in black favor. So, how you see, again, we're talking about the pawn structure. So that's why bishop c2, important move for the whole strategy, covering the pawn, supporting knight f5, and preparing bishop to e3 without letting black opportunities to really take to d4. You can see now the pawn is protected and very easy takes with the pawn. So remember that bishop c2. I mean, you can go differently, but with the white setup, bishop c2 is very important. Okay, let's go next. Now, how you see both sides kind of prepare action. Now, are white ready to go for action or no? What do you think? Because we build a battery, and then what is the idea behind the battery? Eventually sack. So are white ready or no? You think not enough? Okay. What about other? You like more pieces into the attack? Okay, Patrick. Not enough firepower. Okay. Okay, guys. So now I will give you a hint how a good player knows in advance is bishop h6 works or no, without deeply calculation. Okay. Okay. Nero. If now. That is the whole scenario. If black can play very quickly, that's mean immediately, here and here, usually tactics doesn't work. Okay? But let's say I just giving you one idea. We play a move, and kind of the queen is blocked. Now this move should work. That's usually how it works. Because black cannot come so quickly. Okay? They need to waste time. That usually works. Just to know, 90%, you don't need to calculate 5 moves in advance or more. Just everything is about, can black bring the queen quickly or no? If they can't, bishop h6 or bishop h3, because I will show an example from the other side too, works, or if queen can come quickly, doesn't work. Okay? Remember that. So that's why white doesn't suck, because black quickly coming. White played knight f5. Sorry, how was that? Yeah, knight f5, and now black decided to kill the knight because knight looks annoying. Yes. Okay, guys, what you play now for white? Will you sack to h6 or no? Simple question. Yes or no? Question for $1 million. Guys, you suck or no? Why? Explain me why you like to do it. Why you think that works?
You can sack now because the knight's blocking that square from the queen.
Excellent, very good answer. Yes, guys, now we can sack because black cannot bring the queen so fast. Okay, the game was knight h7, but let's go queen e7. You can see here we just remove the queen and we win the knight on f6. We remove the defender. So the game was knight h7, and how you finish the attack now? Guys, we're talking about normal game, not about bullet game, yeah? Yes, guys, knight f5, knight g5, removing the defender and preparing f6, and clear the way for the rook to leave the rook into the attack. We're bringing more and more pieces into the attack. That is the most decisive. And you see now why bishop was also useful on c2. Okay, and after this and black give up. So how you see, very constructive game, showing a very good plan for white to build the attack in this typical position. The funny story is that game was played between kids, and white pieces was just 2000 and something FIDE rating, I believe underrated kid, and with black was like 22,300. But how you see, white was very familiar with the whole ideas, and they played a fantastic game. Remember the ideas, bishop c2, how you see later bishop also was useful into the attack, but the main idea, guys, is we like to push d4 to lock the bishop and to be able to take with the pawn. And again, I will repeat, we sack on h6. Usually if opponent cannot go immediately queen e7, queen f8, that's how usually work. And remember the move bishop c2, because if you play bishop e3, this is in black favor. You cannot take with the pawn. You should take with piece, and e4 versus d6, that it's in black favor, this pawn structure, just to know. Okay, let's go another game. Now I like to show this game, also played between kids in the Pan American Games. There was maybe around 2000, both of them. Flipboard was F, yes. Okay, so let's go. So far everything normal. So far everything okay, yes. Be careful, guys, when you fianchet to the bishop, because knight is going to there, yes. Okay, let's start from here. It's a black to move. What you play for black and white? How you see, white played a little bit weird. They don't feel the dangers, and maybe they're not familiar with the bishop. With the position if they fianchet to the bishop in the Italian game, yeah. Looks little bit weird. I told you that was again kids game. I watched online because I was part of the USA team and watched the kids playing there. Okay. What I do when 2 pawns attack, I'm trying to sack a piece back for these 2 pawns. You like bishop f2? Okay, guys, king takes f2. Knight h5, knight f4, but you can jump in one move, knight f4. Okay, here's an easy question now. Easy question. Listen carefully. Is bishop h3 works or no? What do you think? You can calculate in 30 seconds. That's all. What do you think? Is bishop h3 works or no? Guys, it's white to move. What do you mean queen b3? Guys, answer my question. Is bishop h3 works for black or no? What do you think? Yes. Perfect answer, Patrick. Very good. You paid attention. You are a basketball player. That's why you got the wrong answer. But I love this player. He made the Toronto champions. Leonard. Wrong answer. Yes, guys, I mentioned if this queen cannot come so quickly, that tactic works. You can just play something like either for this move, either knight f4, and next queen c8 coming, and the attack is crashing. Just to know, and that was the first move I calculated. I analyzed it, and engine just proved that I was right. That's not my game. I didn't play. I was just watching. You can see no really way to bring defenders. Maybe knight f1. We just bring the queen. Queen d7. I have queen d7, queen d1, knight f4 to preventing queen into end. Game it's over. No way to prevent all these pieces coming around. Yeah. Queen h3 and whatever. So again, I like to repeat. Repeat, guys, and remember, if you like to prepare like a pro, if you like to play like a grandmaster, this is a pattern, okay? Usually tactics works, bishop takes pawn, if opponent can't bring a queen immediately. Don't try to calculate everything till the end. There is no checkmate in 2 moves, no checkmate in 4 moves, so we can't calculate it, okay? But how many attackers, how many defenders? King safety is the most important. Due to the king weak, white pieces become defender, black pieces getting more powerful. So black are completely winning, okay? Okay, there is no stupid openings, guys, okay? No bad openings, maybe not enough knowledge. Okay, so black missed this. I told you they was a kids. So maybe they was not familiar, not be confident too enough. So black prepared the attack, white continued similar way. Kind of nothing happened. Again, the question, is bishop h3 working or no? Okay, Patrick, I will not. Okay, Syracuse, correct. Mr. Leonard, why you think the same like before? Of course it's worse, guys, because again the same. We just go here and white queen cannot come quickly. You can see this, we're just taking. So it's working. Okay, let's say takes, and mate, correct? Is that true? Is checkmate? So let's say knight h2 maybe, queen takes, knight e3. What next? How you win, guys, now here? I like this move with some idea of lifting the rook later, and you're going to crash. Maybe other moves there too. I kind of stopped here to analyze. When I analyze it, you have enough time even to bring maybe even this rook to the attack. This knight is so powerful that white has no way to bring a single defenders. And again, I told you we can't see the final results. That's very difficult for you because if you checkmate in 2, you will play it. Otherwise, oh, I lose a piece, you don't like to play it. But you don't lose a piece, you lose at 1 point, a single point. Yeah, 2 pounds for a piece. But you can see black king is, white king is so compromised. Okay, let's follow the game. He played bishop c7, preparing this. Again, he missed bishop h3. Again, bishop h3, guys, works with absolutely the same. But how you see, black was never confident to sack. They kind of prepared. White started to defend. Again, bishop h3 maybe works, but now more complicated because white has knight to g1. I believe you can see this, but still works, just much more complicated. So takes. And he missed it, he needed, the idea was correct. He just did in the wrong way a little bit. Okay, let's follow the game. Game become pretty sharp. And here, guys, this was killing move. Black missed it with idea next queen h4 coming. I will just follow the game because game become very interesting now. Here's some move rook e4 came. And now white got lost. Sorry, black got lost because of the weak king. They went in time trouble and later somehow black won. I know there was forcing win by white in one moment. Maybe here somewhere. I don't remember now. Somewhere here, I'm almost sure there was some tactical shot. And white was winning. So, how you see black missed many moves, guys, in a row to sack to h3. But remember, again, I like to repeat, if the opponent can't quickly bring queen here, guys, usually the attack is successful, okay? Okay, I see time is going fast. Let's give you more examples, not all kind of the same. Let's go this one here, very briefly. So kind of similar, yeah? Bishop c2, remember that move again. Bishop c2, bishop e3. Guys, is bishop h6 working or no? Yes or no? Guys, it's never easy to see bishop take h6 or bishop take h3. Remember. Why? Because there is no checkmate in 2 or 3 moves. And that's always complicated when we don't see the final results, okay? And that's why I kind of giving you hints to know why it works or why it don't works, to be confident to go there and then to find the solutions, guys, okay? Yes, now this move doesn't work because quickly is going queen e7, queen f8, very good. So knight f5 coming, queen c8. This is defense against bishop h6 because bishop g6. There was some move in between, knight e4, I believe. Yeah, knight e4, counter-attack, remember that idea, and then we take the knight. And black didn't lose material, they has nice position because controlling the center very well. So black defended against that, and white go for this. Now knight e4 is not so good because we can take with check, okay, to compromising the king. That's why d5. So now what you're going to play for white here? White to move, kind of the last black move, it's a blunder, but why? Yes, sir. Yes, chess pawn. That's correct. What you mean by any more today? It's everything about this Italian typical pawn structure. You like one game bishop h6 and that's all? So, guys, what you will play? White to move. Some idea? Another very typical sacrifice. Yes, knight e4 is the idea. Bishop h6, knight e4, guys. And bishop takes f5. Yes, we have a winner. Knight g7, guys, is the killing move now. That is the another typical idea. How you can see we don't always sack to h6, we sack to g7. Bravo for the winners. Bravo, Daniel. Bishop h6, and here, guys, if white wanted to attack, they should go queen g5. Queen g5 with attacking opportunities, bringing that knight, and then we discover that bishop. But white decided now to be solid, completely winning. Okay, they like to win another pawn for free. And let's move win just a material, and white has rook and 3-4 pawns for 2 pieces, yes? And you can see white are completely winning with so much material. So how you see knight g7 also coming. Not only bishop h6, knight g7, remember that idea. Okay, and white was able to convert this one or another way. Okay, let's go to another one. So guys, how you see black defends against bishop h6 with that move, because we discussed bishop h6, knight e4 all the time, but they completely miss knight g7. Be careful, okay? There is not only one single tactic, simple tactic. Okay, now let's see this one, maybe. Is that the same one? Okay, I will start a little bit earlier because bishop e6 come, white save the bishop immediately. Sometimes we save immediately, and going the same setup. Almost the same, yeah? And now d5. What you play now for white, let's just see. It looks almost the same, yes? But some small difference than before. Now should be easy for you guys. Let's see what you learn. Guys, play for white. How white win? Which tactical shot now works? Who paid attention know the answer. Okay, let's wait for more people to find the right move. You see, guys, the previous game was between Grandmasters. These games are between Grandmasters. So how you see, you should be familiar with the tactical ideas and to calculate them during the game. Yes, guys, knight g7 now works. We discussed that here bishop h6 doesn't work due to the knight e4 all the time. But knight g7 again works. And again, he played this simple way to gain a material. And we have, how you can see, rook and 2 pawns for 2 pieces, what is better, and very compromised king. And even rook and 3 pawns for 2 pieces and very weak king, and white convert the advantage. Yes, guys, that's why you need to practice. Sometimes we sack to h6, sometimes we sack to g7, sometimes maybe somewhere else you're going to see. Okay, let's show one more like that. Here, black played d5, little bit different because I see some of you telling me always the same. It's always the same, but it's never the same. Chess games always start the same, guys, but later going never the same. So now we have not so kind of different type of center than before. Okay, guys, what you play here for white? No more battery, no more anything. Now you're gonna have hard time. A difficult time. Yes, they always look the same, but they're never the same. That's the problem. They're always different. Take castle, what does mean? I don't know this language, take castle. Okay. Okay, interesting, okay. Calculate, kind of white has a choice. Okay, guys, white played very interesting. Let's go because there is a lot of to calculate even later. Knight takes g7. So, kind of all in, guys. Yes, or we win or we lose. Yeah, we sack the knight. So, by the way, nice move. Very interesting. How you see we didn't have the built battery or whatever, and kind of black looks very well developed too, but still. King safety is king safety. You see, Grandmaster always calculates such a tactical shot when we can compromise the opponent king. Remember that king safety is always the most important. How you attack now? That is also very important to know how we attack next. Knight f5, bishop h6, something else. I just giving you forcing moves. Knight f5, bishop h6 are forcing moves. Relatively easy to calculate. Okay. Bishop h6, queen d2, queen g5. Okay, Mr. Italian, you are really like mashing. Okay, let's go. Bishop h6 correct with idea queen h6, king d2. You can see, queen d2 check, queen. Oh, I have even this move, but queen g5 it's also good. I analyze it also like that, winning too. So, king h8, and now. Okay, now it's much more positional. We're just compromising the king, not so obvious like before. But the truth, white are winning objectively, and even according to engine. I know you trust the engine always, the evaluation that white are winning. Because white can bring many pieces to the attack. Now it's coming the typical way how we attack. We compromise first the king, and next we bring queen and as more as possible pieces into the attack. He played queen d2, pretty good move with simple idea to bring queen g5 next. Queen g5 coming like a double attack, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And rook g8, bringing the queen with idea queen h4. Yeah, if queen d6, queen h4 looks like decisive. This bishop also supports the attack. So that's why knight h7 immediately. And now, what you gonna play now? How you gonna attack now? What is the answer, Mr. the basketball guy? Yes, we take the last defender, guys. Don't let him to really bring defenders. That could be good too, but eventually he can try to little bit bring a defenders once or another way. That's why he immediately took, and now kind of discovered check it's coming unstoppable. And he easy went For now, even the material is in white favor, because rook and a pawn, and it's coming somewhere knight. Maybe somewhere rook can come also lifting to the attack. Okay. How white wins now? Okay, you missed that the rook attack there, Patrick. Okay. So I kind of going fast because I like to show you more examples. I like to show 2 more games by Wesley So. One time he was white, one time he was black. On the high level, yeah? One versus Gukesh and one versus Duda. Top players from top 10 in the world. So, of course, game finish in 2 moves. It's an unstoppable mate. Just find it. That's why I'm letting you know. Okay, queen g5 check. King go to the corner. I mean, he give up, but king go to the corner, and then yes, Patrick, correct. Knight f6 and checkmate on the other side. Okay, guys, so sometimes how you see it, such a tactical way could work even when it doesn't really look so well developed, yeah, like here. d4, nice way to discover the bishops again, and kind of somehow all white pieces are into the battle except the rook into the corner. But all these bishops are already into the battle, yes, somehow. How you can see. So sometimes even tactic works when we kind of look not well developed too. So now I'm going to Wesley So, 2 games. The first one is versus Duda. How you know the Duda won the World Cup? 221 World Cup, yeah. Very strong player, was in top 10 before. So they played kind of, let's say they go something normal. Black are doing well. How you see they don't push h6. Remember that. Black are trying to get counterplay. They're careful playing the opening. And here, now, everything looks good. Black just played this move. Be careful now. Now, position starts to look more familiar to you, correct? So, white to move. Will bishop h6 works or no? You have 10 seconds to answer me. Wrong answer, Mr. Basketball guy. Yes, Patrick, kind of all these maneuverings, yeah. Double bishop, not your way. Guys, correct, is not working because we discussed already queen is coming in one move, okay? And tactics is not working. Remember that. You don't need to calculate 5-10 moves in advance to spend half an hour, okay? So that's why Wesley So didn't suck and jump knight f5. Looks familiar to you, correct? Improving pieces, bishop on c2 always support this idea too. The pawn is protected on e4. One of the reasons why bishops come back to c2, okay? And he took this powerful knight. He was nervous and played knight f8. Good luck, guys. Play for white. Yes, everybody learn from this, correct. Okay. Always trade knight for bishops. Okay, guys, remember that. Mr. Chess Pawn, is that working or no? What same position? It's not same. Black pawns are on a4, b5. What same position? But yeah, looks the same. It's the same pawn structure, yeah? The whole opening, it's about the same pawn structure. You got it from e4, e5, from Spanish and from Italian. So, guys, is bishop h6 worse or no? Yes or no? Who think no, raise your hands. Maybe somebody here in the chess club? It works or no? What do you think? Yes, of course. Now bishop h6 works. Bravo, guys. Unfortunately, Wesley entered to this endgame. He is better because pair of bishops, he was able to convert. But I was very surprised that he didn't take, because it's not so difficult maybe to calculate. What else? Knight g5, it's easy coming with the idea rook's lifting. So maybe that's its usual way, you know, with the idea to now this, bring this, okay. But don't forget, we easy has rook e4, crashing somehow, yeah. What I'm missing now, rook e4. No, rook e4 is coming, queen f6, yes. Sorry, we're missing the easiest move first, to take without to calculate, and then f6, and then rook e4 crashing. Black cannot bring defenders, okay. That's not speed game, that is a normal chess and in very serious tournament. One of the Grand Prix guys, and Wesley so beat Duda. They was 2 games match, okay. So it was very important game and was normal chess. So how you see bishop h6 was working. He didn't capture to h6. I don't know why, but that's why I want to show you the next game. Maybe he was not so confident, but for such a player who was number 2 in the world, yeah, former number 2 in the world and number 10 in the world for so many years in a row, more than 10. I'm very surprised he was not confident to go bishop h6. And most likely that should be the first move he should calculate too. Yeah? Once he built this battery, played bishop c2, played everything correctly, yeah? The whole plan. Yes, he doesn't usually suck, looks like that. And again, he missed this idea. At least he didn't enter to that, and he played this endgame. I told you, he was able to convert. He's better. Pair of bishops. He's fantastic in the endgame, but he's fantastic everywhere. And he was converting nicely, playing against that bishop. But how you see that it's how he won, nobody really knows. But okay, he won, yeah. I just showing you briefly the game, kind of black blunder something. So guys, how you see, don't really try to calculate so much bishop h6. Of course calculate, but in the way, can opponent bring a defenders or no? Because again, I like to repeat, here bishop h6 doesn't work. You don't need to try to make works. Usually it doesn't work when opponent bring the queen. After we include these moves, now you should try to make this works, calculate, but that usually should work when the opponent cannot bring so quickly the queen into the battle, okay? So let's go next one. Next one is Gukesh versus Duda. I believe that everybody now knows Gukesh, yeah, he qualified for candidates and he's one of the prodigy, Indians prodigy. And I think it's maybe around number 10 in the world right now, not so sure, in top 10 or not top 10, but something around there. Ah, not Italian, guys. Is that familiar to you? What opening we had now? What opening is this? Berlin. Kind of anti-Berlin. Okay, they maneuvered, and in one moment we get such a position. They improved, and now white played this move. Guys, when we play such a moves, you should always tell them, I has a battery. What you should think first, the first move you should think is which one? Okay, thank you, Patrick. So Gukesh is currently number 13. But he qualified for the candidate, what is the most important, yes. So very fresh game, and again, Wesley so has opportunities to sack on h3 eventually. So, yes or no? All in or no? Yes, Daniel, I agree with you. But I know you listen the lessons. Chess Pound, why you think like that? Yes, if knight is on g6, it's much easier than to c6. I completely agree. Okay, Mr. Serakos. I will remember that. I can learn also from you guys. Guys, I'm not asking you different moves. I'm asking you, is bishop h3 now works or no? What do you think? I know you can play every single move, but now we're talking about this typical idea in all these openings. If you have an answer, just let me know. Okay, Daniel. Okay, Patrick. Okay, Mr. Caffeine. Not enough firepower. Okay, Mr. Canada. Okay, guys. You more or less trying to calculate, what of course is not bad, but what I mentioned in the beginning of the lesson, when that works and when that doesn't work. That is the problem, guys. When we play such a moves, we call these typical sacrifices. Typical ideas, yeah? Now we're teaching typical ideas in this pawn structure. Italian, Spanish pawn structure. And that's why we study them. They're like pattern, and because humans, guys, are blind, they can calculate like the engines according to knowledge. Hi, Mr. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you, man. So, I told you in the beginning of the lesson that when usually this move works and when no. Let's say from 10 times, at least 9 this will work in the way I told you. And that's why we study. You just go there. Once you see how opponent defends, then you will find the solution. So here bishop h3 of course works. Why works? Of course we can't calculate, but why it works? Who can tell me? And guys, look, you lose just a single point, okay? Take this like position of sacrifice. You don't need to have checkmate in 2 moves, otherwise everybody will find it. And maybe opponent will not blunder such a simple, yeah? Yes, Patrick, there is no queen f1 coming in next 10 moves, maybe. So if this queen cannot go quickly to f1 to come to cover the king, usually this tactic works. And guys, again, I was very surprised Wesley so didn't went for this, and he got crushed, and you're gonna see in 5-10 moves after that. So what makes me to think something weakness in his play. I mean, I keep this for myself and for my top students, but eventually 2 times he could go, most typical sacrifice when we study like a kid, more or less, before to become grandmasters, I mean. And he was not brave enough to go for that when he knew that should be a good move. Maybe that's why he didn't qualify for the candidate tournaments. I don't know. If you are not brave, don't go. If you're afraid of bears, don't go in the forest. You remember that, yeah? Thank you, sir. Thank you. So let's go to see now. Should work one or another way. Some of you mentioned e4 is coming. Some of you mentioned that knight e4 is not coming because knight is handing, and that's why e4 is one idea. And also somehow we can bring up pieces one or another way to the attack. Yeah, knight g4, e4, but kind of white also cannot bring defenders. We discussed that if queens cannot come, usually tactics works. Yes, Patrick, I completely agree with you. Yes, yes, completely agree with you. Yes, if that was some other place, they will do it in 2 seconds. Such a move. Okay. So he played kind of little bit consolidating move, but now Gukesh went well, and now for some reason bishop h3 it's not so strong anymore. Still could be possible, but not so strong. You can see why, because white can kind of block black pieces, and soon, okay, now white are going pretty good. You see, again, I like to repeat early into the game we has. In this position, guys, you usually don't fianchetto the bishop. I forgot to mention this. Usually bishop should try to cover f4 and f5, because we often maneuvering with the knights to go active there. So how you see he moved the bishop back now. He's going attacking. Knight is handing. And now white are going to crush black. How you see black now, every move going worse and worse. White are improving pieces nicely. Black two knights looks now pretty weird, both knight on the side, yeah. Maybe that was not the day of the Wesley, that he got two knights on the side, yeah. That's not really true, guys. You should have the power to keep that rating. Why is better to not analyze these games? So white are going the typical move again, discover this diagonal. We discussed that often we like to do it. Wait, I remember white missed some idea somewhere in the game. I think they could trap the knight somewhere with g4. I kind of missed to mention that moment. Okay, how you see now they get normal position, fighting. But my whole idea of all this example was these typical ideas. When these tactics, usually guys, we can't calculate them to the end. That's not forcing win. Otherwise, everybody will play if it's a check, 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 mate, or check, check, opponent sack the queen to not get mated. That everybody is just doing, yeah. So again, I like to come back to here. White just played h3, and carefully, maybe Wesley trusted Gukesh and not really tried to consider that move, because sometimes we're doing like that. It's too obvious that I just build a battery I like to take, and he played h3, yeah. Okay, I see we are short of time. I like to show another game briefly against some Italian. Gukesh played in the candidates. Let's see. But like complex player, I prefer Wesley, of course, so far. But Gukesh is young and still improving. So how you see that it's also sometimes common. Sometimes we don't castle to not waste time to move rook to e1. Kind of. Here white played rook e1 to cover the pawn. Guys, more or less, almost the last questions for tonight. What you gonna play here for white? Let's see what you learn. White to move. Very typical idea, should be very familiar now for you. You should have a lot of knowledge now. Know how to draw. Bravo, magic. I am proud with you. You learn everything. That is the very important move for the whole strategy. I believe you learn now why. Yes, yeah, it's too early. Yes, it doesn't work now. Bravo. Bishop h6 doesn't work now. Okay, Patrick, Ofe, Kafen, yes. Bishop c2, kind of mysterious move, guys. And sometimes maybe you ask yourself, why Grandmaster plays such a mysterious move? Why this bishop is attacking, killing him on f7 and the king, and we're making the bishop a defender. You see, this looks very illogical, because we all the time talking improve the pieces, guys, correct? But how you see there is more deeply understanding of position. we like to go bishop e3, queen d2, and then later knight f5, and that's why we need this kind of passive moves. Prophylactic move for our next plan. Maybe you're gonna play something else. You don't need to go bishop c2. Yes, but if you play bishop c2, basically this is the plan you like to do next. Guys, good luck, your move. Okay, Mr. Canada. Maybe you can, maybe you can. Maybe you can, maybe you have something better, Mr. Magic, too. Okay, I have a question. Last questions for tonight. Can you immediately go bishop h6 or no? What do you think? Congratulations, bravo guys. I'm happy to see you learned a lot from today. So I delivered well everything, the material. I'm happy to see this. Yes, now bishop h6 works immediately. You don't need bishop knight f5 because the queen is not coming. That was the game. Black didn't capture. You can see that black played d5 because this is just game. It's over. It's coming knight f5, knight g5, and some mates there. Rook e3 also. So the game was d5, bishop g5, and white are completely winning. Kind of they won a pawn for free, and they also compromised the king. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. I like to mention that after tomorrow, Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time, I have a blitz. Sorry, a blitz. I have a simul. Please come to play against me. We'll also have chat during the simul, so I will be happy again to see you. Thank you for coming, and see you next time. Thank you.